I'm working, and this guy is constantly coming to look for me in the evenings. And I'm like, I don't want this relationship. If your own sister is telling me you're a womanizer, why should I trust you? So I refused. But one time he would come even late in the night, and we were working late. We would work until sometimes we would get home at 3 a.m. From 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. So my landlady said, this cannot continue. You either listen to him or you move out of my plot. So I decided to give him an opportunity. That day he came and he pleaded his case and pledged his love and everything. He was on his knees, he shed tears, and he told me if I leave him, he was going to harm himself, like he was going to take his life. Now, being the nice girl that I was, I grew up in church, I was born again, and I was a staunch Catholic at some point. I said, okay, I don't want somebody to die, he really loves me. So I followed him, I gave him an opportunity. After some time, I conceived, and then he changed. And he told me I was not ready for a child. I was not ready even for a family. And the whole time he used to introduce me to his relatives as, this is my wife. So nikatupwa with my pregnancy. I started looking for him. Now the tables turned. Now it was me searching for him. He refused, and I agreed and I moved on. But just before the baby was born, he appeared and he said he had reconsidered, and he said, would you like to marry me? I said, of course, yes, because I grew up, you know, the way I was brought up. For me now, I was wondering, how will I take this to my family? My mom was this serious church woman, respected. So I said, yes, and he said, but then you also have to convert to Islam. I said, it's not a problem. I just wanted to be married. I just want to take away my shame. So he organized nikah, tukafunga nikah. Then the baby was born like a month later. And I was happy. We were happy. We were living as a husband and wife. But then one day my landlady tells me, Faith, what's wrong with men? And I asked her why. She said, you're beautiful, you have everything. What does this man want? I see him in town with different women. So again, the same thing came again. But I was so naive, and it didn't, I don't know, I had peace. And I continued to stay. But somewhere along the line, now this is about like 7 months after the baby was born, it had come to me, and I keep saying, God spoke to me and said, I want you to leave this man, because it was so clear you're leaving this man. And I remember arguing with God and saying, why? Because I know the only reason why you should leave is in case of adultery. So I said to God, give me a good reason. If you give me a good reason, I will leave him. You see, I had been told, but I was ignoring. About 2 weeks later, I got a call from a lady. And then she identifies herself as so-and-so and said, I work with him. Is it true he's married? I said, yes. And is it true you guys, I mean, you're his wife? I said, yes. Is it true you guys have a kid? I said, yes. And who are you? She said, I didn't know that he was married. I've been seeing him. I've introduced him to my family. And I called to apologize because some of his relatives told me that he is married. So I said, God has answered my prayer. I packed. I just organized how to exit with my baby, because they told me, you will never live with my son. I left him. Then, so he didn't know I had left him, because I lied. I said there was something that had happened back home and we were needed. That was the only way I could have carried my baby. Yeah, and so he started pursuing me. As he was pursuing me, my aunt would call, so what is going on? How is it? How is it? And I said, he's always at my doorstep. He's always, they said, you know what? If you want him to leave you, you better get another man immediately so that he can leave you alone. So I did that. This guy used to ask me out while I was still married. And he used to ask me out when I was in my buibuis. He saw my pregnancy, he liked me, and I thought, maybe he's maybe he's the angel I've been looking for. And anyway, he was Kikuyu, like me, and he was from Kirinyaga. And I thought my mom will approve, because now his mother is also a church woman. And I said, finally, the tears, because my mother had refused that other relationship. So quickly, I said yes to him. He had been asking me out, I was resisting, so I said yes. Within no time, we moved in together. The baby, by the time my baby was knowing how to say ma, he found now the second guy in my life. And he grew up knowing this is my dad. He did not know he had another father. I didn't want, although they used to come for him, but then now the biological father got an opportunity to go to the US, and so I was left to raise a baby with my new husband. Now the thing is, he used to drink a lot.